condolences to all Donna's family and friends and the whole netball community as we get underway with this first game. Southeast Blaze versus City Flames. City Flames have got the first turnover. They're playing in yellow and going to the left of your screens with Southeast Blaze in red. And umpires today, Catherine Murray and Anne Burt-Williams, two very experienced umpires. And we couldn't play this game without them.
Absolutely not. It's the hardest job on the court, isn't it? It is. I think I read once they've got 3 seconds to make about 6,000 decisions. I mean, I can umpire, but I don't like to do it as often as they do.
We leave it to the professionals.
Absolutely.
So, neither team yet to be able to get a mark on the board. Another turnover, and this time Blaze now on the attack. But let me run you through the starting 7. So for Birmingham, Southeast Blaze in the red. A goal shooter, Steph Savigar. At goal attack, Abigail Meredith. At wing attack, Rebecca Baker. At centre, Charlotte Scarborough. At wing defence, Brooke Culler. At goal defence, Nia Fishlock. And at goalkeeper, Katie Reese. For City Flames, who are on defence, at goal shooter is Natasha Charles. At goal attack is Selena Radcliffe. At wing attack, Sarah Bell. At centre, Elise Haywood. At wing defence, Jill Morgan, as the goal goes through the net for the first goal of the game from Savigar. And as this ball comes back into City Flames' defensive end, great pressure on there from goalkeeper Katie Darlow, but unable to stop that goal going through.
Oh, they're the worst ones off the post, aren't they? Just lose your, don't know where you are. It goes Elise Haywood.
And nice, and Natasha Charles couldn't quite pull it in, but she does get the contact call. She is ever present in that goal shooter position for the City Flames.
She is, and she's a force to be reckoned with in there. She's strong, she's tall, she gets the overhead ball. Sometimes maybe it's a little bit too close to the back line, but she does work really hard in there to get those balls. I wouldn't want to be a shorter goalkeeper against her because she is quite a powerful goal shooter.
Oh, Coastal Heat in Bangor, they did what they did in 2023. They weren't able to win their 2 games, so they came off the back of 2 losses, lost to Coastal Heat and to Valley's Volcanoes. But as the season or the competition progressed in 2023, they got better and better.
Yeah, they found their feet. I feel like they're, you know, it's almost, some teams need to settle a little bit and then they come back into it. You know, maybe for them the travel wasn't great because it is quite far for them, but you know, you have to settle as a team, you have to get used to that. They've got some players with them today that weren't able to come to Bangor. But again, you have to be able to, you know, change things as a team so you are able to play without certain players within you. And I think Selena Radcliffe wasn't with them in Bangor, so she might make a difference as a goal attack, which is allowing Sarah Bell to move into that wing attack position, where she is used to playing more now these days, because she is very, very nippy in that wing attack position, isn't she? And she's very good at feeding the ball in. So it's allowing other players now as well to play in different positions where they might be stronger in. So it's interesting to see what will happen with them today and if they can capitalise on this first win.
Well, we'll bring the score to you shortly. But I believe it's City Flames are in the lead 3-2, and they just get another one on the board to take them to 4. Coming up to the 6th minute left of this first quarter of the FleetEV National League.
Brooke Collette over. And it is straight into Steph Savigar, another tall, formidable force in that shooting circles. I think it's the battle of the shooting circles for this one, isn't it? For the how tall and strong shooters they've got.
Yeah, Savigar, part of Newport Netball Club in Southeast Wales. As Charles, she takes a step in and she swooshes it. She takes them another point on the board. 5 plays 3.
City Flames had lost their centre pass on that one as well, so it was really good for them to turn the ball over and gain that point back.
Nice cut to the top.
Oh, there
fabulous.
goes Darlow.
Katie Darlow, a goalkeeper, bringing up the goods.
And chasing her own ball. It's getting it off the sideline.
You gotta follow it up. Oh, but unlucky, the replay ball there. And Birchhurst just couldn't get control, gives the ball back to Southeast Blaze. Blaze also lost both their games up in Bangor last month to Valley's Volcanoes as well, and Coastal Heat.
Yeah, well,
Played this both
played
teams.
the same. So I guess this is to find out who's better team of the losing teams. But no, I think they also had some players that they didn't have either. I don't think Abby Meredith, I'm not sure if Abby Meredith was up there with them, but Rebecca Baker is now able to, you know, because she's quite good at being the wing attack and the goal attack the same, so she can play both positions really well as well.
Meredith was there. She was getting some good long-range shots,
Perfect.
if I remember correctly.
Different type of shooter that would be really good with someone like Steph Savigar, who can, you know, go right and close to the post and have those long balls. To have that longer range shooter on the outside of the circle, really helpful.
Complementing each other. Oh, just overcooking that pass in, Rebecca Baker. But she was contacted. And she finds Meredith.
There's that.
Oh,
I was going to say there's that long range shot.
But the post was
Jinxed her
having
myself.
none of it.
That was my fault. Apologies, Abby Meredith.
Naughty you. City Flames with Hayward. Oh, she takes the ball on the run, passes
Lovely.
it off to Bell. Swings round them two are playing together.
And takes that ball.
Smooth. Now that was a great through court play. Started
Wonderful.
there from Hayward.
Wonderful. Hayward is a little pocket rocket. She will take any ball you throw at her, and she's, you know, she's about 5'3", and she will take any ball you throw at her. She will get a hand to it because she has great elevation in the air, and we see her put that ball on the run then because she has such control of her feet, and she's always been that kind of player. Because I remember her when she was about 10 years old, so she has always been that kind of player who has control and will take the pace off, and she will get on the end of any ball you give her.
Oh, she's almost there from...
Katie Dowler read that so well, but her timing was just slightly off, wasn't it?
Off, yeah.
She saw that a mile off.
We just see her chatting now to her goal defence, Tizzy Birchhurst, just having that communication to ensure that when she goes out, the back is covered.
Absolutely. On the other end, we get a turnover from Rebecca Baker, always working hard. Southeast Blaze now just playing the ball around, but Jill Morgan just lands her feet off the side of the court. Shows frustration with herself, but it was a great take.
She is a real workhorse, isn't she? A real linchpin in that defence.
Absolutely. I think she said that she's just glad to be on court. When we asked them about their little bio, she said, just glad to be on court. I think she feels she's the oldest one here, but she's a great player. I think she plays for Dinas Club down in Cardiff. But she's been on court for years, and she is very experienced.
Oh, lovely movement there. But she thought it was might have been a contact. Could have kept going with that one.
I know, that was a great
Birchhurst.
take from Birchhurst.
Great
Oh.
intercept.
And she was expecting the call, wasn't she? She was almost expecting to be blown, so she just gave the ball away.
But Catherine Murray, as we're talking about, fab umpire, she spotted that, no, that was clean, you keep going.
And Mia Fishlock read that and took the ball away from Tash Charles. Great reading from that goal defence. Slowly building now, Southeast Blaze, but Selena Radcliffe again going in for an interception.
Oh, she's sliding nicely into this City Flames attack.
Absolutely, she's a very experienced player, Selena Radcliffe, and she's played, I believe she played for Bath University, if I'm right. She wasn't with us in Bangor, like I said, but she, from what I can remember, she's played for Bath. So she has a wealth of experience, and she's been part of this Cardiff City Flames kind of setup for a little while now.
Well, Jamila Abbott, Cardiff City Flames, head coach, was saying she's quiet but a tireless player, just so versatile. She can play across goal shooter, goal attack, and wing attack.
Well, you can see that in her play, can't you? You can see that she has great knowledge of how to move across the court, so she would be a great wing attack to put in there.
Ah, nice from Meredith, just being that playmaker, taking the ball edge of the circle, and Savigar just keeps, they brought it back to 1 goal with 5 seconds left of this quarter. 8 plays 7, City Flames with the opportunity, but they're not hustling to get that ball into the shooting circle.
Great defensive work by South East Blaze there, knowing the clock was running down, knowing that they can just block, and not allow City Flames to just throw that ball into Charles, as she was screaming for that ball, but no, they kept it within 1, which is a great score for both teams, really.
Wow, yeah, as we said, both teams coming off 2 losses in Bangor against the same opposition, so this is, like you say, almost bragging rights, who is the best of the two, but it's City Flames currently with that 1 goal ahead, 8 plays 7. What is it that brought South East Blaze back into this competition?
I think defensively, they never let go. They are always working hard to get that ball back. They're never really on the back foot defensively. You know, we've seen a couple of times City Flames have managed to just literally take the ball and run with it. We've seen Elise Hayward do it, we've seen Selena Radcliffe do it. However, it's only a couple of times that's happened, whereas South East Blaze have, once they've lost the ball, they've stepped back into position and they've tried to stop that easy run of the ball through the court, and they do it really well. They get back into defense. The transition from attack to defense from them is really, really smooth, and I think that stops City Flames' then ease of taking the ball through court, and it works really well for them.
Indeed, and in attack, Savago at goal shooter, when she's getting that ball under the post.
Lovely. I don't think she's missed much yet, has she? And the combination of Meredith and Savigar together, Meredith is acting as like a combinational wing attack, goal attack, isn't she? And she's feeding the ball nicely to Savigar, and she's letting her have her own space, which is what you want as a shooter, isn't it? If someone gets in your space, wouldn't you get so annoyed? I know I would. I know I used to. I used to be like, get out, that's my space, I'm holding it. But no, they know each other well on court. They play well as a duo. And the ball's coming through from Rebecca Baker. She's working hard as a wing attack. She's playing more of like a centre role as well, because she's going right up to the defensive line to work hard on rebounds and work hard on taking and intercepting balls. So the whole team are working as a 7 instead of individual play.
Yeah, and as that quarter has gone on, they've just grown and grown, haven't they, into this combination? Yeah,
absolutely. And you see that in all combinations of like from the defence coming through, you know, Fishlock and the goalkeeper, Katie Reese, they switch really easily. It's like a flawless switch. So you see if, you know, Katie Reese has gone out for a rebound, as you were seeing City Flames trying to do here when Darlow came out, Fishlock is there, and she was on Charles, and they went for that ball in, and Fishlock took it out of the air because she's also got a great elevated jump on her. So the way they work in combinations and their units is also really great.
Indeed. Oh, well, what a start to the first game of today. City Flames up against South East Blaze. City Flames on 8, South East Blaze on 7. We've got lots of matches for you today, as we did up in Bangor. All teams, will play twice. So 1 game this morning, 1 game this afternoon. And then next month we'll head to Cardiff for the final round and the playoff matches to see who will become the FleetEV champion of 2024.
Just scouring the court to see if there's any changes made. I believe Nia Fishlock has moved into that goalkeeper position after causing so much chaos against Tasha Charles. I believe Katie Reese has come out to goal defence, if I can see correctly.
I believe you're right. So they've just had a little positional switch.
A little switch around, and no changes for City Flames. And no other changes for South East Blaze.
So Blaze had that first centre pass. They get the ball into the circle after a penalty call, and just overcooking that one. Savago has been so on point on their shots, but possession stays with Blaze. Rebecca Baker takes the back line, and it's foiled with Scarborough going offside in the circle. So Flames on the attack. Bell comes up the middle at wing attack. Goes across to Hayward. She goes long in.
Great vision.
So
great vision from Hayward.
Block is a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So those over balls potentially can go in a little bit more.
Absolutely. So if I was Fishlock, I would be not, Tash Charles like to hold, and every holding shooter needs someone to hold. And if you haven't got someone to hold, you feel a bit out of sorts. So dance around her, keep her top circle, force her to shoot further out, force her to have to work hard for it, because she loves to hold, take the ball. Hold, take the ball. That's what you do as a holding shooter. So you have to make them work for it.
Indeed. Down the other end, Savaga, she misses. She's in for the rebound. This time, she does not. It goes 3 in 9 apiece. Brought it level. Ratcliffe goes back.
Jill Morgan again, that workhorse, and another great ball in to Tash Charles.
But like you say, she doesn't like to shoot from too far away from the post. But Fishlock just getting called for that 3-foot mark. Charles got an opportunity under the post.
And every shooter has a favourite side, haven't they? You always know a shooter's got a favourite side. And I believe Tash Charles doesn't really like to shoot from the left. So I would keep her on the left, I think.
So Hayward being called on the edge of the circle. Baker in. Oh, nice work from Meredith. And it goes through.
Long range shot again, or a medium range shot from Meredith. Again, working really well with Steph Savigar. Savigar just giving her that little bit of extra room to play.
Oh, Meredith part of the Gwent police force. So,
oh,
what a ball. Hayward is loving life in those feeds.
Her vision is on fire today. And Radcliffe as well, knowing that Charles was again out here on the right-hand side and just using that all that space and just clipping on Hayward's eye straight in. It's getting exciting in here now, isn't it? You can feel the tension on the court.
The energy. We've got packed house here in Ebbw Vale. Just great to see how each year, I know we're only in the second year, but already the growth of how many people are coming to watch and support and playing in these bigger venues now.
I mean, it's, you know, we started at 9:30 in the morning and people are out here watching netball. It's great to see, isn't it? It's wonderful. And I know there's a petition out at the moment for netball to come out of the Olympics and stuff like that. And it's, you know, it's lovely to see. And people need to realise that netball is such a great sport to watch. And it's so interesting. It's fast-paced and there's always something changing.
And we love these tight games where you just don't know which way it's going to fall as Meredith gets the ball in. Oh, just makes it too much, but what a save on the line from Savaga to keep that ball in play, and Meredith rewards her with the goal. 11 plays 13.
That was wonderful. Great teamwork, that. Always back up the player on the line.
Oh!
Brooke Collette reading Sarah Bell's play there.
Got her 3-foot mark and went straight up in the air.
That was lovely elevation from Brooke Collette. Two players now out of play. So an easy ball in for Radcliffe.
Nice, so you can just hear Charles just giving her some support on the shot.
And also putting her arm up a little bit as well to try and block out Fishlock. I mean, she is standing in front of us, so there's not much Fishlock can do at that point, but no, it was really nice play then as well. And there goes Darlow on the rebound. Again, Tash Charles giving her support from the other side of the court.
Morgan offloads, and then she runs into centre court, gives some space for Bell to come out on the left-hand side. And another feed in from distance. Right, Hayward has had a few now. What do we want to see from Scarborough?
We need to shut that down. You can't let Hayward come into this attacking third and just let that ball go, because you know she's got great vision. You know she's constantly looking for it. Again, it's going up. So that's better from Fishlock to get on the inside of that ball, because if she's feeding it on the outside, you have the baseline to help you. But from Scarborough, she needs to be shutting that ball down. She needs to be tracking Hayward. She needs to get her guard up, so that ball has to go higher, or she has to step around the guard. If there's no guard up, it's an easy ball for Hayward. Or she has to force her out towards the side and force her movement, because currently she's just stepping into the third and putting it right up. There's no one to defend her.
So City Flames with a 5-point lead. But a mistake in the centre third, and Blaze back on it. Baker at wing attack, passes it to Scarborough at centre, top of the circle. Meredith offers for the front, but it goes into the backspace. Savigar, this second quarter, there's been a couple now that just haven't landed for her.
Yeah, they've just rolled off, haven't they? Rolled off the top of the hoop, really. But City Flames are definitely capitalising on this. Straight in. Better from Scarborough. She shut that down straight away. Because if you get that ball on the circle edge, it's very hard to defend that ball coming in, isn't it? But much, much better from Scarborough to shut that feed down straight away.
Great front position there from Fishlock. Having moved from goal defence to goalkeeper.
Quick little 1-2. Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh. Oh. Saw that way off, wasn't it, from when it left her hand. But shooters, you can feel it, can't you? When it leaves your hand, you know it's off or it's on.
Good pressure from Fishlock. Quick transition through court for Blaze. Oh, Meredith wanted to get it into Savigar, but a great cover from Darlow at goalkeeper. No vision in.
Great work from Birchhurst there as well to get right in front, but I think she's called for obstruction. Arms first. Here goes Savigar and brings it to 16 points to 12. So City Flames in the lead from 16 points to 12.
Just coming up to the 2-minute mark left of this second quarter. As City Flames take their time in, and Charles, she's on that ball again.
Again, Sarah Bell put that ball up with no one defending her. There was no opposition for her or that feed, so we need to shut down these feeds. If Southeast Blaze are going to get on the end of any of these balls, they need to shut down the feed.
Oh, Birchhurst. Darlow at goalkeeper. Great tip. But it was that combination in there, but with Birchhurst, isn't it? They're really shutting down, making it really difficult to see where the space is.
Absolutely. So, you know, Birchhurst is making the space, is confusing it, is confusing the space, so they have to then force that ball, and then Darlow's going on it, and it's really nice. Again, they're looking for that feed every time, City Flames.
Nice cover.
Offside again by Charlotte Scarborough. She's doing the right thing, but she's just not finding her feet well enough. She could have taken a nice little leap off that, but she is tracking. She's just slightly on the back foot, I think.
Right, so we're just going to replace the ball because it had a little trip outside, so I don't want it to have any grit on it or whatnot. So we've got a new ball, well spotted there from umpire Amber Williams.
Great work there by Selena Radcliffe. She drew both defenders away from Charles towards Sarah Bell, which gave her the space to play the ball to Charles. But an uncharacteristic miss there from Tash Charles.
New ball having an effect?
Not used to it.
But the shooting worries for Savigar down the other end continue, but her teammate Abigail Meredith ready to collect that rebound and net. They take Blaze to 13 with 30 seconds left on the clock. Nice hands there from Scarborough. As you're saying, she's getting there. Now she's getting the tip.
But she could take a little step forward for that because, again, that's a lot of room for Hayward to put that feed in. She just takes a step back, Hayward. You know, they expect her to go on to circle edge, but she doesn't because she knows she can feed better just slightly away from it.
So 10 seconds left. Again, Blaze with the ball. This time, can they make it count in the final seconds of the game? 2, I think it might just be too late, but they've got a penalty pass or shot, so maybe. This time, Savigar, she puts it through. 18 plays 14. That's 18 to City Flames, 14 to Southeast Blaze. That quarter there, City Flames getting a little bit further. It was just 1 going into the start of it.
Yeah, it was 8-7 at the end of the first quarter, and now we're at 18-14. So, you know, City Flames have scored 10 goals in that quarter, whereas Southeast Blaze only scored 7. So it's showing that the City Flames are starting to pull away a little bit. And I think Southeast Blaze in that one just kind of lost their defensive pattern a little bit, you know, allowing all these feeds to come in. Like we said earlier on, you need to shut those down because Sarah Bell, for one, Hayward for another one, their feeds are pinpoint accurate. So if you have to shut that ball, once it gets to Charles or Radcliffe, they're going to put it up, and 90% of the time they're going to score. So you have to shut it down before it gets to them, because once that ball's in the air, it's very hard to get the ball off them.
Do you think that switch between Fishlock and Katie Reese at goalkeeper, goal defence has made a difference?
I think Fishlock is very versatile, and she can play very well in both positions. She has better elevation, so she can jump higher in the circle to try and take that ball away from Charles. However, with feeds like that coming in, it doesn't matter who's in there, because the pinpoint accuracy of the feed, you almost need someone as tall as Charles, and if you haven't got it, you might as well put Steph Savigar in there to try and go against. Do you know what I mean? So you could put Katie Reese back in there, but then again, you'd have Fishlock out against Lena Radcliffe, and they have the stamina and the speed to do it. And Reese is doing really well against Radcliffe, but again, it's all about those feeds. And if you can't shut down those passes and those feeds coming in, it doesn't matter who's in there, really.
So is that defence higher up the court then, getting it before it gets to that feed into the circle?
Absolutely. It has to go through 7 players before it gets to Tash Charles, right? Or at least 6. So if the defence works harder higher up the court and shuts down the ball at least, halfway through the court, and makes it harder then for City Flames to get the ball into that third, then it will work better for them, because once you get to here, you're on like a 2v4. So it is easier then to shut the ball down. So I think they need to work harder on their defensive coming through court. Transition is still there. They're still quick doing it, but they need to work harder on what they are actually doing.
Indeed. And for the City Flames, we've talked about how good the attack has been in terms of being able to penetrate through in that circle. In defence, we've seen some great turnovers from Birchhurst and Darlow, and they're affecting some of Savigar's shots.
They are affecting it, and what we've been talking about is the combination that they're working together. So, if Darlow's going out, Birchhurst is there backing her up, similarly vice versa as well. So, and Birchhurst is very good at confusing space. She will make you think you've got all the room in the world, but then Darlow's there taking that ball away from you. So they understand each other really, really well. And that comes into play as well with Jill Morgan. Like she's like a little silent assassin on the court, isn't she? Like you kind of forget about her, but she's there for the ball, and she's great working really well off ball as well. She's doing a lot of work against Rebecca Baker. We haven't seen as much of her in that quarter just then as we did in the first quarter, because Jill Morgan is working so hard off ball to try and take her out of the game. So that's really effective from her.
Yeah, well, all 3 of them play for Dina's Netball Club. So does that have an effect in terms of they're used to playing week in, week out together?
Yeah, of course it does. Like playing week in, week out makes a difference. You gel already, you know exactly what the other person's going to do. And Birchhurst and Darlow would have played in the circles together for years. And bringing Jill Morgan to that on the wing defence and bringing Elise Hayward into the centre, it's like you already know what you're doing. It's like you're just playing Dina's Netball Club on the court. But it's really nice to see, because you already know that if I'm going out for a fly, I know someone's backing me up, and that gives you the confidence to then go further out for the fly. So it's nice to have that confidence in your team.
Indeed. Well, this is Wales's highest level of community competition. So it's a great opportunity for those that do play out in the community, because it's not like England where there's regional or there's other inter-area competitions. This is the chance for them to get out of their areas and come up against the other great participation players in Wales.
Absolutely, and there is different age groups, categories that play. So you have the inter-county categories from like under 14s, 16s, 18s. So it's nice to have this at senior level. And you do have like the school tournaments. You have the Anne Smartin President's Cup tournaments when it comes to schools playing, which is also lovely to watch, and you get to see all this new talent coming through. But again, for those younger players to be able to see that, well, if I keep going, I can play at this senior level. And we've seen from last year that a couple of players that played here are now in national squads or in the Cardiff Dragons squad. So it does, act as a way that you can showcase your talent even when you're outside of those age groups. So it's nice.
Yeah, nice. Shout out to Lane and Ianelu, both getting picked up. So we're about to recommence then, and it's City Flames that take the centre pass of this third quarter of the FleetEV Wales National League. City Flames are up 18 to South East Blaze 14. And it was that second quarter where City Flames were able to just get a little bit further ahead.
Just looking for changes on the court for you. So we can see that South East Blaze have put Charlotte Lewis into goal shooter. They've moved Victoria Nuttall into wing attack. Lauren Snooks into wing defence. Brooke Collette has moved into the goal defence position. And Katie Reese has moved back into the goalkeeper position. So a big change for South East Blaze. They've moved around a lot of players. They've taken a lot of people off and put on almost the whole bench of players. And for City Flames, they've brought on into the wing defence position Megan Cooper. And they've also changed their shooter, so Tash Charles has come off the court. And Cheryl Henson is now on as goal shooter.
Oh, well, Cheryl wasn't with them in Bangor. They only travelled with 11 players of the squad of 12 you can take. So back in the squad now to give something a bit different. What does she bring that is different to Charles?
Absolutely. You know, she is, again, quite tall, quite strong, quite stocky, which is nice to see. And she's very accurate, Cheryl is. She is very similar to Charles in the way she plays. But I think she has a bit of a longer range, so she doesn't just shoot under the post. And she, again, has also played, I believe, Dinas Netball Club. So, again, you know, played with these girls for quite a while now. So she, again, is another one that knows how the other girls play. So I think City Flames have kind of gone with tall shooters, quite tall wing attacks. So it's nice to see that they can bring on fresh legs and not have a massive difference in their gameplay.
So as they bring this ball down through, Bell at wing attack continues to her starting position. That feed in, not quite landing, but it was a great tip there from Katie Reese at goalkeeper. And the first goal on the board there for Cheryl Henson coming at goal shooter. So 3 goals to difference now as Blaze come through on the chat. Charlotte Lewis, she was part of the Blaze Stars last year. Oh, and just isn't able to put through, but what a rebound from her.
And Megan Cooper straight in with the interception as well. She planted her feet lovely on the side of the circle. She got her positioning right in front of the wing attack.
Oh,
and she really made a difference.
Growing as this game is progressing, not just getting tips now, getting full-on turnovers. The CTK Netball Club player. It's been part of the Wales pathway at under 17 levels. She plays cricket for Wales too. Versatile.
Very versatile.
Comes
Hard
in for
sport, cricket. You have to have a lot of stamina, don't you? So I bet she could run all day long.
There you go. Lewis demands the ball back. Turns quickly to post to get that 3-foot obstruction, and she nets. 2 goals, 1 goal the difference now with Blaze's centre pass.
Lovely work. Oh, another great tip from Birchurst, but again, been caught for obstruction, putting her arms up before she got her distance. And here goes Charlotte Lewis. Lovely work. Nice elevation of that ball, nice height, dropping lovely into the circle. Into the net, sorry.
We're back level again. It's 20 apiece. Bell struggling to find someone. She did find Radcliffe, but into the hands of Reese, sorry. Back in that goalkeeper position.
And South East Blaze have come back on this game, haven't they? They have just scored 6, 7 goals out of nowhere
to take the lead in this game. And it's their centre pass.
Oh.
Playing with such confidence. Great hold there. Charlotte Lewis has come onto this court with a point to prove.
Charlotte Lewis reminds me of an early Chelsea Lewis.
I was just thinking the same thing. Yes, very much.
Not just because of the surname, but she just has the aura, the vibe of a young Chelsea Lewis.
It's like she must have heard us talking about her, put her off a little bit. Got a great position right by courtside, where we can hear every squeak, every catch of the ball. Cooper with the ball. She's come on in this quarter at wing defence for City Flames. Not with the ball as Blaze come through the court. Oh, but she's there. She's tried to get it back and
Oh.
Great work from her. She made the mistake up on the court, but she was straight back into defense and gets the turnover for her team.
Again, working hard to get out every single ball. Working their options in. A bit more movement.
Oh, Katie Reese.
A bit more movement is happening in the circle there for City Flames, and the feeds are just not working anymore. So Southeast Blaze taking over. And there goes Charlotte Lewis again. Just missing that one. Flames will try and build this up again now.
The defensive work rate we're seeing from Southeast Blaze, so good, but they find it now, City Flames, into that circle. They find Henson. Henson puts it through the goal. We're back level, 21-21. City Flames on the center pass. Bell goes deep to Hayward, but a little too much on that pass, and it's a sideline for Blaze.
Pressure's mounting a little bit now, isn't it, for City Flames?
Nice delayed pass. Nuttall at wing attack came on as well in that quarter. This second half start for Southeast Blaze, on point. Nice take. Nuttall again. Composes us. Oh, she's there. Here if you need on the edge of the circle. Charlotte Lewis. Now just needs to set herself.
Needs to get the ball in hand.
Nice. And a time is called from City Flames as Katie Darlow goes to the bench and is swapped by Olivia Brown. She plays goalkeeper and goal shooter. But we saw her play both last month in Bangor, so, but she's coming on now in goalkeeper. She brings, what does she bring that's different?
Again, she is a very versatile player, but she has great wingspan. She has great height. She has great elevation. So she's one of those players that's not afraid to go for a fly, a bit like Katie Darlow. But again, has a little bit of height in there, and is not afraid to, you know, dance around, a moving shooter. So what Charlotte Lewis brings is more of a mover compared to Steph Saviga, who would just hold. And Katie Darlow works better, I think, against a holding shooter, whereas Olivia Brown will just work and work and work and work against a mover. So I think it's a good swap for Jamila Abbott.
Minute and a half left of this third quarter. Oh, it's gone so quickly.
Southeast Blaze are now leading 24-22. What a difference this quarter is. How
really
fast things can change.
Around. They were 4 goals down at the end of the first half.
And Charlotte Scarborough with a wonderful turnover. And a back roll off the back of Elise Hayward.
This is good patience from Southeast Blaze coming through the court.
Meg Cooper again working hard to try and get turnover off that ball. A defensive effort of City Flames cannot go unnoticed. Oh, footwork called for Charlotte Lewis.
A little bit sloppy on that turn. City Flames with a chance. 40 seconds on the clock. 2 goals the difference. They go into the pocket to Bell. Radcliffe in this squad for this weekend, wasn't in Bangor. Starts the game at goal attack, still on the court. Gives a nice shooter-to-shooter pass. Clever there from Henson, just draws the contact.
Nice easy goal. 20 seconds left on the clock for Southeast Blaze to try and capitalise.
Oh, great control.
Here goes Charlotte Lewis. Oh, lovely jump and tip, but just called for obstruction. Olivia Brown. And a lovely shot from Charlotte Lewis as the clock hits 0.
Wow, what a third quarter that was. 23 to City Flames, 25 to Southeast Blaze. They've overcome that 4-goal deficit that they had going into halftime break. Wow.
Southeast Blaze have just put 11 on the board in that quarter, compared to City Flames, who have just put 5 on the board. That was a different team out there from City Flames, from Southeast Blaze, wasn't it? Something just went under them and just put a rocket up them. That was insane play.
What
Charlotte
was it?
Lewis made a difference. 100%, big difference.
Why?
Well, Steph Savigar, as we know, is a holder. She's a tall holding shooter. She can put the ball up, and Meredith play around her. Charlotte Lewis is a mover. So having two movers changes the whole game. It changes how people play, how the ball comes in, how everyone plays around you. But also, I said at the beginning of the quarter, they made a lot of changes in that quarter. They made 4 changes. So they brought on and changes in positions that are, well, every position is important, but positions that, they brought in a shooter, a wing attack, and a wing defense. They changed the goal defense and the goalkeeper. Brooke Collette in the goal defense, again, a great jumper, a great elevation. But then again, City Flames changed their shooter, which also made a difference. I would not be surprised if we see another change in the shooting circle for City Flames. However, the combination of Katie Reese and Brooke Collette, again, wonderful to see. Katie Reese is on every single ball, putting her hand in there, trying to get everything she can. Vic Nuttall trying to bring attack, lovely feeds, wasn't it? And Charlotte Lewis knows her baseline so well, knows where the ball's coming in, and then working with Abigail Meredith. Oh, that was wonderful play by South East Blaze.
It really was. And so for City Flames going into this last quarter, that comeback there from South East Blaze, those changes, like you say, they weren't able to react quickly enough. You would imagine South East Blaze will stick with that 7. But what can City Flames do now to try and combat that and get themselves back in this game?
They have to regroup. They have to regroup and they have to settle themselves down. They'll be rattled now after that because they were up by 4 goals coming into that quarter and now they're down by 2. I know, netball, it changes all the time in netball, but they've been up for the first quarter and the second quarter, and now they're for the first time in this game, they're down by 2. 2's not a lot. That's 1 turnover. Yep. However, they have to regroup and steady themselves. If they end up playing South East Blaze's game, they're not going to win this game. They have to regroup themselves and play the game that they've been training to play. They have to get back on the defence and shut down because South East Blaze just ran away with that quarter. And if they're on the back foot, they'll never get that ball back.
That third quarter, 5 to City Flames, 11 to South East Blaze. As we are about to start the very last quarter of this first game of the FleetEV National League. And we're off City Flames, and as you called it, in-goal shooter, Charles is back on.
Like I said, not surprised. I think Cheryl Henson, she's a great shooter, but for this game, due to the combination of Reese and Collette in that defensive circle, you need a shooter like Charles. You need a strong, tall, accurate shooter, and she is the best one to put on court for this. So it was a good choice to put Henson in there, but due to the changes South East Blaze brought, you have to have Charles back in there. And I don't think there's any other changes because Meg Cooper is working really well. Brown's working well with that movement of Charlotte Lewis. She just took a rebound off a missed shot from Lewis. So now Flames have to calm themselves down and keep looking into those lovely feeds that they can put into Charles.
Yeah. And as we also called it, no change like that feed, indeed. But there's no change in this fourth quarter for South East Blaze. That's 7 that put 11 in the third quarter on the board. Get to start this last quarter. But Charles gets herself back on the scoreboard. And it's City Flames with ball. Bell was looking in, but just getting a little bit too close, Lauren Snooks.
Katie Reese pulled for contact on Charles.
Oh, and it just goes in. Even Charles almost wiped her brow with relief.
Creeps in, doesn't it? Crept in.
Collett, the Goldie, just bringing that ball through. She's come on and been such a firepower in that attacking from defence for Blaze.
Yeah, she has. And when she was playing wing defence as well, she makes a difference. But, wing attack, Vic Nuttall has made a huge difference in that position. And she just kind of brings an extra little push to them. And she hits pocket really well.
Oh, so clever there from Reese, the goalkeeper, just getting behind and tipping it off Charles. She's really, I remember again in Bangor what she did at goalkeeper for Blaze in terms of trying to get those turnovers. It's really coming into effect in this game.
Absolutely. As you don't have to be the tallest person on court to be a good goalkeeper. It is hard going to get someone who is much taller than you, but have a good elevation, have good knowledge about where the ball's going, and it's all yours.
And the confidence we're seeing in attack from Blaze as well. Those balls going into Lewis.
It's like they've swapped positions, haven't they? They've swapped roles because those balls, because the difference is because Charlotte Lewis is such a great mover. She knows where her space is. She moves her feet so quickly. The balls are now coming in differently.
Every time we pick her up, she makes a mistake.
We should stop talking about her, I think.
But oh, look at that. Brooke Collett. What a performance.
Took that ball clean off Sarah Bell, or was it Selena Radcliffe? Took that cleanly.
What a high shot there from Lewis. Just wasn't able to go through.
This is just end-to-end talent, isn't it? It's wonderful to watch.
25 City Flames, 28 Southeast Blaze. Charles comes out of the circle. Oh! Where did she come from?
Lauren Snooks.
You could just hear her talking to the defense, trying to get them to set up into positions, making it so hard for City Flames to get that ball into the circle.
I know, and this is what's better now for Southeast Blazers. They are shutting it down at every stage. There's someone there, arms over ball. There's someone over every single player. Look at that. Oh. Hayward could not get that under ball, so she had to do something different. Yeah. She still managed to get there, but Scarborough made it difficult for her.
Well, City Flames, they bring it back to 1. 27 plays 28. Blaze will need to get this one just to keep that momentum ticking over, keep their foot in front. Meredith draws the baseline. She goes from distance. Oh, that ball was a little bit flat. If it didn't go perfectly, it was always going to bounce out. Flames, every time you think they might be crumbling, they come out with a little bit more firepower.
I know. And even bring the ball up the court. Olivia Brown picked up Charlotte Lewis off the floor whilst going for a ball. That's lovely, isn't it? Oh, Sarah Bell shouting to her team. That is their ball. Play it before the Blaze girls get back, but they got in position very quickly there, Southeast Blaze, all 4 of them. And Charles capitalizes.
We're level again. 28 plays 28. 5 minutes left of this first match. FleetEV National League.
What a way to start the day.
Oh, what a way. Well, if we weren't awake when we got here, we're definitely
we're
awake now. Oh, and Charles takes City Flames back into the lead.
Southeast Blaze need to score this to stay level. And City Flames are just urging for a turnover.
Lewis takes her time.
Oh, wonderful high shot.
With all the pressure from Olivia Brown, she's still got it over the top.
To go up 1, here goes City Flames. Taking their time, playing the ball around.
Just getting a little bit too close for comfort. Lauren Snooks at wing defense.
Tasha Charles is setting up for that feed. There it goes from Hayward.
Yeah, when it's to the edge of that circle and she's on that hold, it's all 100% going in, right?
You're not going to stop that. Okay. You're never going to stop it.
So 1 goal up again for City Flames. Blaze, MechTech and the Print Company sponsoring them for this season.
Contact called from behind on Tizzy Birchhurst. Oh, lovely little pop from Meredith to Lewis.
Oh, and look at that hold from Brown.
She was urging for a 3-second call on that from Brown. She has a great lean.
Bell up the middle. She goes deep. There, they're back in it again.
Again, that lovely feed. The vision they've got from just inside this third. Beautiful. And Charles expects it every time.
Snooks gives the give and go. Looking for where, but Collett is there to help her. But, Hayward is on the defense.
I told you, every ball she'll get it. Lovely, lovely turnover by Elise Hayward. Straight into Charles. Little step.
And the Diners netball player links into that attack to find her teammate shooter, Charles. Oh, Katie Reese, unfortunately.
Ooh. Contact against Katie Reese.
Radcliffe quick to take that penalty pass into her teammate. Charles scores. And now City Flames 3 goals up. Turned this around. Can Blaze stay in this game?
2 minutes at least on the clock, which is plenty of time, isn't it, as we know?
Indeed, but
they just missed that shot. Charlotte Lewis just missed that shot. So Flames can now afford to take their time a little bit and not have to rush it.
Oh, the
lovely
no
ball.
look pass. Oh!
Brooke Collette. Oh, we're loving this, aren't we? What a take from Brooke Collette. Read that feed.
So good. So good. And Lewis rewards her down at the other end. 2 goals the difference. 1 minute 40 on the clock. Left of this first game of the FleetEV National League. Fish, Reese trying to get that ball, but strong hold from Charles.
And Southeast Blaze needed that goal because it was their centre pass, so they needed it. But they've just lost that ball over the side. And a call for obstruction, so Selena Radcliffe will have another go.
Yeah, she just took her time, didn't she, to set up the penalty. She knows.
She knows.
She knows. Blaze on the centre pass.
Everyone's putting so much into every ball. There's bodies flying everywhere.
Meredith comes through the top at goal attack, finds her teammate on the baseline. Nice lean there from Brown again, but so good in terms of getting that ball through
Elise
the net.
Hayward
Lewis
taking her time with 50 seconds, 45 seconds.
Breaking on the centre pass.
40 seconds left on the clock, and Southeast Blaze will have to rush this one.
They need to get this down quickly because then their centre pass, so they could draw this game.
They could.
Elise Hayward taking her time to get up, trying to slow it down. Step to the left from Lewis.
Obstruction call. Oh, and a miss fromEwis.
And she gets this one. 20 seconds on the clock. They need to be quick. Scarborough at centre takes the pass. She offloads it there. And it's in, under the post. Lewis takes a step to left again. Brown, obstruction. 7 seconds. Lewis scores. City Flames centre pass, but only 3 seconds left on the board. Bell goes for the long one.
Oh, what a game! 34 goals each. What a finish by Southeast Blaze. I feel like crying.
I'm exhausted. What a game. That was such great play from both teams. City Flames in the lead from the start, right up until half-time. It was the third quarter that brought Blaze back into this game.
Really brought it back.
But then City Flames in that last quarter, they got in front. They were 2 up at one stage. But wow, what a finish there from Blaze.
I feel exhausted. I feel like I've just played that game. That was intense, wasn't it? Because we know that City Flames were up for half of that game. And in the last quarter, they brought it back to score 11 goals compared to Southeast Blaze's 9 goals. But that's all City, if they'd scored 1 more, if they'd scored 11 apiece even, Southeast Blaze would have won. But the performance from Southeast Blaze in that game, to come back from being, 1 down, 4 down, I'm speechless.
Were they doing it for Donna?
Oh, they were definitely doing it for Donna, weren't they? And you can see in their performance how much every single goal meant to them because they were on their feet. We couldn't even see the last goal because they were on their feet and it was blocking us. But no, every single player on that court played their part absolutely beautifully. And for City Flames as well. They were working so hard. Elise Hayward trying to slow the clock down. Little sneaky things that you can do. Do you know what I mean? But no, beautiful play from both teams.
That is. And I know we're giving a lot of love to Blaze. Well, they did finish 6th last year. They were last in the table. So to come up and put that performance, amazing. But City Flames, also so good from them.
Oh, great from them. Those feeds, beautiful. And to put Charles back on court so they could have that little run again, lovely. The work in the defence, the defensive work was so good. There was turnovers, there was tips, there was taking ball cleanly without everyone even noticing. It was just every single player on that court, both teams. Wonderful.
Amazing. Well, what a first game we have had today here in Ebbw Vale. Wow, wow, wow. We're going to take a little break now before the start of the next match, which is Powys Sparks versus Northeast Inferno. But to finish off that very first game, it was 34-34 City Flames up against Southeast Blaze. We'll see you shortly.